Hi, I'm Carlino, and I am not a professional auto mechanic, but I do have kind of a dated 2001 Saturn SC2, and she needs her oil changed, so that's what I'm going to do today. People who've seen my channel know that I have an impact wrench, but I'm going to do this without the impact wrench because most people don't have an air compressor in their garage. And so I'm going to show this process just using hand tools. So to start out with, on this car, the wheel covers are held on with these sort of lug nut covers. They're just plastic, but nonetheless, they need to come off. And I'm just using a wrench. See? Just plastic. They're not that hard. Next, I will break these free, but I'm not going to take them off yet because I haven't jacked up the car. Alright, now, with the lug nuts broken loose, now I jack up the car, but of course, I already have my blocks in place behind the wheels because I don't want the car to roll down the driveway. And the emergency brake is on, but block the wheels anyway. Jack it up. So I can take off the hat for now. And then put my jack stand there. And then I let the car fall very slowly and carefully until the load is on the jack stand. Not so much the jack, but this is just me. I leave the jack in place. That way they're reinforcing each other. So you'll notice that, yes, to change the oil, I am taking off the wheel. I have been doing this for years, and I used to just jack up the car and go from underneath, but you know what? It actually really is easier just to take off the wheel and go through the side panel. And the rest of these are going to come off as well. There we go. Little tip from Aircode Guy. Aircode Guy on YouTube. Very good videos with just some good down-to-earth advice. Check him out. Anyway, he always puts his wheel underneath the car just in case it drops or something. You never want a car to land on you. It's better that it land on a wheel or a block or just about anything else other than human flesh. Now we need to take off this splash guard, which I can do that with a straight screwdriver. Straight screwdriver. We have these body panel retainers. They're in two pieces, and you see it's got this flared out piece here and then this center plug that when you push it forward, it makes this balloon out on the other side and hold that retainer in place. And then there's this little clip, like this little tab here that goes into a rectangular slot. So there's also that little plug that just snaps out of that little hole right there. So this comes out. Yeah, there's the oil filter right there. But before I loosen the oil filter, I have to drain the oil. The oil drain plug is right here above my finger, and it uses a 14mm socket. So I'm going to put that on here and loosen it. Put my oil drain pan underneath, and then just take it out with my hand. Of course, you wait for the engine to cool before you do this. Ah, look at that. Thick and black. This is where I need to loosen the oil filter, and there are a lot of different oil filter wrenches out there. This one is my favorite. This one works really well. However, another shameless plug for Aircode Guy, he has a video where he showed all sorts of different methods of getting a stuck oil filter off of a vehicle. So, you know, after you're done watching this video, feel free to go over to Error Code Guy and check out his videos, because yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, so this, just like it looks like, it's essentially a pair of pliers, and make sure that you're going in the right direction. Yeah, I want to go this way. So I'm just going to grip the oil filter with the oil filter wrench, and there we go. Oh, that works like a charm. Don't be afraid to crumple the oil filter a little bit, because if you're changing the oil, you're changing the oil filter as well. Alright, so I got my new oil filter. It's all shiny. And so what I do is take a little bit of the old motor oil, just stick my finger right in there, and I lubricate the seal. And then I'm going to screw this right back in place. Make sure to get it nice and tight. Alright, so now in the time that it's taken me to change the filter, the oil has finished draining out of the thing. It's only dripping once every several seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and put the plug back in. I know you can't see it. I can't see it either. And we'll put the 14mm ratchet wrench back on there. Good and tight. Now you put the splash panel back in, and you know, this big tab goes into that slot behind the brake line. This tab goes into that slot. There's this bottom tab. There's a hole that the plug in the back goes into. And last but certainly not least, you expand and just pull the little plug out, push this into the hole, and then put in the plug. Now it doesn't come out. We can very carefully, as not to make a mess, take our oil drain pan out from under the car. There we go. Just imagine me doing this about 3 more times. Alright, so now I'm going to jack it up just a little bit, take the load off of the jack stand, and pull that out of the way. And now I lower the car. And tighten my lug nuts. And the wheel cover goes on, and you can align it by using this little knockout here with the air valve. So there you go. And then you just twist these on. They're just screwing right over top of the lug nuts. And then I always tighten them finger tight using 19mm socket. This may be the most important step. Add oil. The way that these bottles are designed, you put the nozzle or the opening to the top and then you pour. This way it doesn't glug and you get a nice smooth pour. I want to say that the capacity is 3.5 quarts, but I'm going to start with 3 quarts, and then I'm going to check the dipstick. It is right here at about the about the 1/4 mark. So that means that I could add another 3/4 of a bottle to top it off and still be okay. This is bottle number 4. I have to add about 3/4 of a bottle. Oh, look at that. 250 milliliters. That is pretty darn close. So, that's it. That is how I changed the oil and the oil filter in a 2001 Saturn SC. If you like this video or you like any of my other videos, please feel free to subscribe. You know, click the thumbs up button. But other than that, changing your oil. Yay!